Hello guys. Hi everybody. So today we are going to discuss about non-ferrous metals. So generally metals are of two types, that is ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals. So what is the exact meaning of ferrous and non-ferrous? Ferrous metal is a metal which contains iron as a chief constituent, whereas the non-ferrous metal is quite opposite to that of the ferrous metal. That is, the non-ferrous metal doesn't have iron as its chief constituent. So for example, the examples of non-ferrous metals are copper, aluminium, lead, nickel, tin, zinc, titanium, etc. So generally non-ferrous metals are more costlier than ferrous metals. So therefore in many industrial purposes we use non-ferrous metal instead of ferrous metals because they do not corrode that much easily as that of the ferrous metals. Mostly these non-ferrous metals have the properties such as they are light in weight, they have higher electrical conductivities, they have higher thermal conductivities, they are high resistant to corrosion, they are easy for fabrication, that is rolling, welding, casting, forging, etc. They are good for machining and they are available in different attractive colors. These are some of the properties of non-ferrous metals. So next we are going to see about copper. So copper is one of the oldest metal which the mankind used to use in his olden days. That is, in the early stages of man, that is, I'm talking about nearly some 10,000, 5,000 years back. Human beings used to use copper as their main metal. They used to cook in, they used to eat in copper vessels and they used to drink water in copper vessels. So copper was a very important part in the human being's life in the ancient time. After that, aluminum came, which the man started using it nearly around some 1,000 years back. After that, the steel came, which the present generation is using. And now the modern generation are using glass. So some of the properties of copper are they are very soft and they are ductile, they are malleable. Ductile is the property of a metal which can be drawn into thin wires, and malleability is a property of a metal which can be drawn into thin sheets. So copper can be drawn into thin wires as well as it can be drawn into thin sheets also. It can be forged or rolled or wire drawn. That is the same as the ductility and malleability property. Next one, it can be worked in hot and cold conditions. It is light in weight. Okay, it has pleasing color. It is non-magnetic in nature. That is, it doesn't attract to magnetic materials. It has high electrical conductivity. That is, it passes electricity very easily because it has free electrons, whereas the metals which do not conduct doesn't have the free electrons. Next one, it has high thermal conductivity. Okay, so it has good machinability. That is, we can machine it very easily. It is easy for fabrication. It can be polished. It can easily be alloyed with different metals. It can be polished and they it can be polished and it has pleasing appearance. That is, its color is very appealing to see to our naked eyes. So the melting point of copper is around 1083 degrees Celsius, and the density of copper is around 8.93 into 10 to the power 3 kgs per meter cube. And the Young's modulus, that is E, of the copper is 122.5 GPa. Okay, so tensile strength of copper is around 220 megapascals, and hardness is around 80 to 85 Bhn, that is Brinell's hardness number. The hardness value is given of Brinell's hardness number, so it's around 80 to 85 Bhn. And Young's modulus is around 122.5 gigapascals GPa. And now let's discuss about copper's extraction process. So generally copper is extracted from a ore called copper pyrites process. So what is the process of extraction of copper? Let's discuss that. So first, the copper pyrites which are present in the earth's crust are taken and they're crushed into powder. That is, they're crushed into powder form, and then uh, concentration. Now this crushed powder of copper pyrites are mixed with water and they're filtered, and we keep it for drying in air, or it is air blown. After first crushing of copper pyrites is done, and after that concentration, that is the crushed copper pyrites are mixed with water, filtered and dried or air blown. Next, the third process is roasting. Copper pyrites are combined with iron and sulfur. This becomes copper iron sulfide and then mixed with silicon oxide and oxygen. The reaction is 2CuFeS2 plus 2SiO2 plus 4O2 gives rise to Cu2S plus 2FeSiO3 plus 3SO2. So smelting and converters. So the fourth step is smelting and converters. Metallurgical processes to obtain pure copper from its impurities. So we use metallurgical properties to obtain pure copper from its impurities. The reaction is given as Cu2S plus O2 gives rise to 2Cu plus SO2. So next one is electrolytic refining. Electrolytic refining, it is done from a solution electrolyte comprised of sulfuric acid and copper sulfate. On passing the current to anode into the solution, pure copper is deposited on the cathode. 99 to 99.9% pure copper is obtained from this method. Next, let us discuss the applications of copper. So copper is used generally in electrical conductors, that is power cables, telephone cables, computer network cables, connectors, etc. They are used in heat exchangers and heating vessels, and they are used in base coating on steel, that is on steel utensils. The base is coated with copper so as to improve the thermal conductivity, as copper has high thermal conductivity compared to other metals. So therefore it is the vessels, steel vessels are coated with copper bases so as to absorb more heat energy from the fire. So the applications of copper are so copper can be used to make alloys such as brass, bronze, etc. And various appliances where lightweight with good corrosion resistance is required, there we use copper because it is light in weight and it has good corrosion resistant. Next, In food and chemical industries we use copper. See, the water tanks and the vessels and tubes are made up of copper, and some jewelry applications also we use copper as main constituent. For example, in gold is mixed with copper or silver so as to improve its strength. Since gold is very uh, you know very ductile in nature, so therefore to improve its strength we add copper or silver to the gold. Copper alloys. So copper has many alloys. Some of the alloys are brass, bronze, gunmetal, and cupronickel alloys. So brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. Bronze is an alloy of copper and